Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to replace the screen on this MacBook Pro 15-inch model A1398. This is a late 2013 model. So first thing we're going to need, we're going to need a Pentalobe 1.2 or P5 screwdriver to remove the screws from the bottom. We'll also need a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. And then we'll need a T8 or Torx 8 screwdriver. Alright, so first thing, let's remove all the screws from the bottom. You do want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. If you mix them up, you can actually cause damage putting the wrong screws in the wrong spot. Alright, so the way I do that, I just put them with the flat side down on my table, like this, in the pattern I remove it. So 4 across, we'll just remove the 4, put them on the table in that pattern, and then you got the 2, so just make that rectangular shape on your desk. Alright, and you just compress it, put them like close together so that way it doesn't take too much room. Alright, so we'll remove these other 2 here. And if you're wondering, the 2 in the back here are supposed to be shorter than the rest. So if that's not the case, then somebody likely undid the screws and put them back wrong for you. Alright. And then we're going to go ahead and remove the 4 from the bottom here. Just like that. Alright, once you removed all those screws, we're going to go ahead and remove the bottom cover. I just get my fingers underneath the back of this metal plate here, and then hold this part down, the palm rest, and just pull up. Alright, whoa, that's really dusty, so I'm going to have to clean that out, and I will be back. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so I cleaned it up a bit, just got off most of the big dust. Alright, scrubbed it with the toothbrush. Okay, so after you get it all, the cover off and clean out the dust, we're going to remove the battery. So to remove the battery, and also when you do the cleaning, you do want to make sure that you're grounded to you want to touch something metal so that you don't get static to damage this. I usually just use a toothbrush and then I use an air blower to blow the dust off. You don't want to use those cans because they do blow like cold air and sometimes it can build condensation, which can damage the computer. Anyways, we're going to disconnect the battery. So I've done a lot of these already. But anyways, you go underneath here, there's the little part connector here that sticks up. So you get underneath there and then you pull on this, okay? Just like that. Usually what I would do is I would have it down like this and I would pull both sides at the same time. But yeah. Alright, so this is very important when you're replacing the screen. You want to disconnect the battery and then press and hold the power button here 10 to 15 seconds. Alright, if you don't do this, there's a very good chance you're going to destroy the replacement screen and possibly the motherboard. Okay, so 10 to 15 seconds and then we're good. Alright, so close that. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and disconnect all the screen related stuff. So we're going to peel this rubber piece up, alright, just like this, and leave it back. This one we can leave here. Okay, so we're going to, let me zoom in here. Let's disconnect these pieces first. So we're going to disconnect the wireless antennas here as well as the eyesight or webcam connector. So to get these antennas out, I just go as close as I can to the tail and then just pull straight up, alright? Just like that. Just like this, okay? You can use tweezers or whatever you want. I just use my fingernails, just like that. Alright, once you get all of that up, to make it a little easier, I'm gonna undo it from this guide here. Alright, it is all held down with adhesive all the way along here, so you want to be careful not to bend the cables too much. Alright, so try and get underneath the adhesive and peel it up and try and keep the cables flat. You don't want to crease them or bend them. Alright, so now we're just going to unguide these wires and we're going to go ahead and continue going along to peel up the adhesive. I pull it this way as I pull it up. Alright, just like this. Alright, and then the camera cable can be a little bit tricky to remove. Since we're replacing the screen, it's okay because it has the replacement. But the way you remove this, you kind of just wiggle this connector as you pull it. I use my finger to push down as I kind of pull back here. So that way it puts it basically pulls the cable straight back. Alright, so I'm pulling this and then I put my finger on top and I just wiggle this connector up and down just like this. Okay. So just like that, you want to go slow. Okay, and just keep going up and down, up and down. And eventually this connector will come out. This one is pretty tight for some reason, but just keep going. I actually see a little gap forming there, so we're gonna keep going and pulling. All right. All right, just keep wiggling it as you pull. Don't want to try and pull it really fast because then it'll easily break. Okay, so just like this. If you can grab the connector here, you can do that, but usually that's really difficult. So the easiest way is you just keep wiggling this up and down. So here we go. It's coming up. All right, come on. It's coming more from the bottom side for some reason. This one doesn't want to come out for some reason. I might have to use some needle nose pliers. Let me try grabbing it closer here with one hand and just wiggling it like this. I don't think that's coming out. Nope. Alright, since that doesn't want to come out, I'm going to try using these needle nose pliers, but if I do that, I'm going to have to remove the wireless card here using a T5 or Torx 5 screwdriver. Alright, so take that screw out. Once you take that screw out, just lift this up just like that. All right, and then I use this raised section to kind of help push it back as I wiggle it, and there we go. And you want to be careful not to touch the bottom because that's the thermal pad, helps pull the heat away. All right, let's see if I can grab it here. No, there's not much room to grab this, so I don't know. Let me try with my small tweezers, but tweezers aren't strong enough. You might have to use some needle nose pliers if you have them, but yep, it doesn't want to move at all. This is crazy. I mean, we're getting rid of this because the screen's broken, so I'm probably just going to pull on it and end up breaking this cable, but we'll see what happens. All right. Yep, that cable's going to just rip off, it looks like. Man, I don't know why this one is holding so strong. Normally these cables don't hold that tight, so that's very strange. I can't even pull this out even if I wanted to. What in the world? Let me turn this so I can get a better view. Okay. And I'm going to try and pull this back from the connector itself. Man, this cable's just going to break. It doesn't want to come out at all. What is going on here? So I don't know why this cable doesn't want to come out. I'm using the screwdriver now to try and push on it. Wow, it doesn't want to come out at all. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and push this side. There we go. Yeah, so I guess it looks like you can actually barely push these wings out. So you want to do that with a screwdriver. I don't know why this one, I've done so many. This is the first time I've ever had one like really difficult to come out. It looks like it's ripping out here, so yeah, you want to be careful with that. Okay, so that's done. We're going to put back the wireless card. Again, we're replacing the whole screen, so it's okay that that cable's broken because the replacement screen has the replacement camera cable. The only thing is if you get that broken and you can't get that connector out, then you're not going to be able to plug in the replacement one. All right, so there we go. We got that in place. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay, so we got that. We're going to go ahead and disconnect this here. So the way, or actually remove these rubber pieces. Let me zoom in to show this better. So to remove the rubber piece, I get the screwdriver and go between, there's two screws here, and this is holding it down. So I go between that, and then I use the screwdriver to lift it up just like that. So here you can see I flipped it over, and there's the adhesive. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side over here. Okay, go on this side, underneath, in between the two screws, and lift it up. And there we go. You can see the adhesive stays in there. Okay, now we're going to disconnect the LCD or LVDS connector. To do that, I get underneath this metal latch here with my fingernail, just like this. You can use a little plastic pry tool and flip that up. All right, once you get that flipped up, then you want to grab this, okay, and then towards the bottom of that latch, you want to push it back, and you can pull the connector out just like that, okay? There we go. All right, next we're going to remove all the, actually let's remove these little screws first. So let's see if I can show you. So there's one little bracket here and one bracket on the other side. I'm gonna flip it over so it's easier for me to see. Okay, hopefully this will work okay. There we go. All right, so let's remove the one screw here holding this little silver bracket here. And we're gonna lift that piece out just like that. Okay, so we got this bracket out. Again, keep these in order because they are different size, shapes, and lengths. If you do mix things up, you're gonna have issues with your screws. All right, same thing with the other side. We're gonna remove that screw, pull that out. Okay, this little bracket. All right, and now to remove the screen, let me zoom out. We're gonna have to zoom out pretty far so you can see the edge of my desk. Let's see here, I'm gonna try and adjust the camera. All right, so what you wanna do is open the screen all the way, okay? And then rest the computer off on your desk while the screen is hanging over the edge. Now we're going to switch to the T8 screwdriver, okay? And undo the 6 screws. I like to add thread locker to these screws when we put back the replacement screen, so I'll show that once I get there. We don't need that garbage in the camera. Okay, there we go. All right, so we'll get these 6 screws out. All right. Right, once we got those 6 screws out, we're gonna just let the screen drop down. Okay, so we got the 6 screws out. Right now I'm holding it up with my legs, so now we'll let it drop down. All right, and then once it's about 90 degrees, you can lift it out just like this. Okay, and there we go. We got the old screen out. We're gonna get the replacement. Okay, for the replacement, you do want to make sure that these hinges are open all the way. If they're not, what you want to do is just take the screwdriver, the T8 screwdriver, and you can use that to help twist the hinges open. Okay, you can do this on both sides. Okay. All right, then we're going to make sure to hold these cables up and out of the way and get that rubber piece out of the way. All right, so we'll drop this into place just like that. All right, hold the screen up with your legs or whatever. Okay, and then we're gonna use the 2 screws on the innermost parts just to, you don't tighten it completely, just tighten it so it holds the hinges in place. Okay, just like this. All right, once you get it in, you can twist it back once just so it's not holding it tight so that you can actually move this around. Okay, now we're gonna slowly close the screen, so lift it up and then just slowly close. All right, just like this. All right, once you got the screen closed, just lay it down like this. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Oops. Hold on, I'm getting messages and I'm accidentally activating things. All right, so the reason why we have it loose is because we're gonna have to adjust this to make sure everything is centered. Just make sure that the body and the screen line up properly. Once you do that, tighten this up. All right, same thing with this one, tighten that up. All right, we're gonna loosen that up later, but we're gonna get some thread locker. I like to use the red one because it holds a lot better. All right, make sure to clean this off so that I can get the thread locker out. Okay, and then what I do, I'll take the screw here and I'll just apply a little bit of thread locker on it. Okay, just a little bit, not even a drop. I don't know if you can even see. I just put barely any. All right, and then we'll just tighten that screw into place. All right, get the other screw and repeat this for all 6 screws. Okay, so we'll get that, add the thread locker. Okay, get that screw into place. All right, we're gonna take this screw out. the third locker there. Okay, so that side's good. We're going to go ahead and do the other side now. Right, make sure you get this metal bracket in place and the webcam cable goes underneath it. All right, just like this. Usually on this metal plate, I will put one screw first. I'll get the other screw. You just put it loosely, all right? And then we'll get the other screw so that way we can realign this metal plate. All right, and then we'll tighten it all the way down. Again, make sure this cable is staying aligned properly. And then also get these wires into the little route grooves. Okay, just like that. Okay, and we'll tighten these in place. Just like that. Alright, and then last screw here. Take that back out. Put some thread locker on it. Right, close up the bottle. Put that last screw back in. Alright, so now we got all 6 of the T8 screws in. We're done with that bit. We're going to switch back to the T5. Alright, and let's put back these little metal brackets here that help hold the screen in place. Get that lined up. Put that screw in. Same thing with the other side. Get that lined up. Put that screw in. Alright, now I'm going to flip this back over. I'm going to put these little rubber pieces back on. Okay. Just like that. And just like that. Alright, now let's zoom in and let's reconnect all the cables. Okay, so we're going to plug this cable in. Same as before, just reverse. Get it lined up. Use the bottom of the latch, pull it in, and then put the latch over. Okay, we're going to flip this around. Okay, so now we're going to reattach the eyesight or webcam cable. For this one, you do want to use the screwdriver to push it in. So just like the reverse, you kind of want to wiggle it in. So go to the top part and then go to the bottom. Push that in. Okay, top piece, bottom piece, just like that. There we go, and now we got the webcam or eyesight camera cable in place. Okay, you're gonna wanna make sure this lays flat. Put this rubber piece on top. Okay. All right, and then we gotta put the wireless antennas back in. So to do that, just grab them, get it lined up. The way you know it's lined up is once it's on top, if you move your finger over it, it stays in place. Then you can push it down. All right, just do that for all 3. Lined up. There we go. Alright, so we've got all 3 wireless antennas back in. The only thing left is to reconnect the battery connector. Okay, just push that back in. Make sure the 2 top corners are lined up and then push it in just like that. Okay, let's zoom back out. Alright, so now we just put the metal cover back on. Get the metal cover, put that in place, snap the center in. First, we're going to test it real quick. Hopefully the screen is working okay. This is a used pulled screen, so we never know sometimes. Alright, let me get the charger here. Sorry. Alright, so we got the charger. Plug it in. The light should go green. If it's not fully charged, it'll go to orange. That's good. We're gonna test, we're gonna do a SMC and PRAM reset. So first I'm gonna do a SMC reset. So to do SMC reset, you do Control Option Shift on the left side, and then you push the power button. This light, if it's orange, should go to green. There we go, and then it goes back to orange. And then now we're gonna do a PRAM reset. So turn on the MacBook, and then Command Option PNR. Right? the screen will start up. Oops, if it started up completely, you want to click the restart button and then Command Option P and R. You'll hear the chime, the screen should go off, and then it should chime again. Alright, so let's wait for it. There we go. So it's good. Alright. And it looks like it's good. The screen is all on, everything seems to be working. So now we just got to put back all the screws and we are good to go. So we're going to flip it back over. I'm going to put back all the screws, switch back to the Pentalobe 5 or 1.2. Alright, and we'll just put back all these screws. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, please like and subscribe. Share my channel with others so that they can also work on their own devices. If they don't really care about that, I do have other random videos that they might like. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. I'm just gonna finish putting up these screws. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.